Well, this is a bittersweet day here at News Channel 7 today. We are announcing that our longtime sports director, Jay Tust, moving on from the KTVB family, and I'm joined by Jay, his son, Mark Johnson, and Tom Scott. We bring you an announcement that we hoped we'd never have to make. Jay, I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, it's been 14 incredible years, but as they say, I guess all good things have to come to an end, and
do they?
I know, right? My time at KTVB, yeah, it's as you can tell, it's a little emotional. I think I made it 30 seconds in to work today before this started to happen or whatever. But yeah, I've taken on a role that's going to allow me to stay in this community that I love so much. And I'm really excited about it. And you might know the place, if you've heard of them, it's Boise State. And the cool thing about it is obviously KTVB has such a wonderful partnership with Boise State. So this truly is not necessarily goodbye. I will see you later, but it will just be in a little bit of a different, manner than's taken place over the last 14 years. So.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember when you came 14 years ago, before Brooks was born.
A little bit before.
Yep. No, the cool thing about this place is I'm from Tacoma, Washington, grew up in Western Washington, and when I moved to Idaho, I did not necessarily think it was going to be that cool. I signed a 3-year contract, and I thought that I would be here the length of that contract. And here we are, 14 years later, and I'm still here. I love this place. The people here are amazing, much more amazing than my golf game. Got in a number of sticky situations along the way, but we always, found a way out of it. And, it was looking for... It'll feel like a piece of the pie is missing, I guess you could say. Not walking through these doors every day, but I got to work with legends like you two and Joe.
Sure, sure.
But you know what it means. It's when you come here and you try to paddle your way through your time. When I first got here, though, it was getting to work with Mark Johnson and Carolyn Hawley and Dee Sarton and. That carried, there was a big responsibility when you signed up to do that. And so I've always said, you guys are the ones that built this place and just did my best to, help carry on the legacy. So,
Well, I will tell you, and Tom knows this as well, we've been on a lot of road trips.
Yeah.
We've logged
yeah.
tens of thousands of miles from Fresno to Michigan State to Atlanta, Georgia, and San Diego and all points in between. I've never known anyone who worked harder than you.
Oh, man.
From when our crew was wrapping up the 10 o'clock live shot and we were going to Chili's that night, the only place that was open, Jay was in his hotel room editing for the next day. The next morning we'd come in, you'd still be editing at a Starbucks, drinking your little fruity, frothy thing. But above all of that and your work ethic that is really admirable and something I've frankly never seen before in the business. What I admire most about you is the family guy that you are. When I introduced you to Camille at the River Club.
I don't know how much credit I give you for a lot, Mark, but I'm willing to give you credit. If you did not ask me to play at that charity golf event that day, I probably never would have met my wife.
And there's Camille right there with your daughter. And she was working at the River Club, and I introduced you. Somehow, some way, you got her phone number, and the next is history and about to be a third Tust.
We got a third on the way, so this is Brooks, and he really wanted to be a part of this shot.
He's, by the way, our new sports director.
Right. Brooks, that's the announcement.
Wave to everybody,
So,
Brooks.
That's the announcement. But you mentioned that, and I owe a lot to my wife and my family because they're long hours, but they're super rewarding hours, and it probably wouldn't be right to say I loved every minute, but I cherish every minute. You go back, and as they say, you don't truly know you're in the good old days until they're gone. But
Well,
getting to do this has been awesome.
When you came to town, You
careful,
came
dude.
going into Kellen Moore's senior year.
Yes.
And then Mark and I took you out to lunch to give you a
You did.
Broncos 101.
You
So
did.
we gave you the Broncos 101, and it became apparent that that you were going to be the hardest working guy in sports television in this town. And you started coming up with Tust stats and things that the Scotch science could never even dream of.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, I don't
and the
know
rest
that.
is history there.
don't
Not
know
even the computer
I mean,
could
wow.
come up with the stats that you came up with.
I think when I moved here, there was a really strong force of newspaper writers, and I think that they asked a lot of the questions and followed a lot of the storylines, and oftentimes maybe some of the TV people had the reputation of just kind of sitting back and then using that stuff, and that never sat right with me. So I wanted to find a different angle. I wanted to learn. I wanted to earn my relationships, and I saw what you were doing, Tom, and I mean we've had the coolest relationship just because we go back and forth about just obscure stats. I mean, 98% of the world probably could care less, but we find it certainly entertaining,
That's
right?
incredible.
And,
Well,
yeah.
I hate to be this guy, but you guys
Yep.
know how the business goes.
Yes. I
did.
I've been
Getting a
playing-
wrap?
I've been getting well for a few minutes
Yeah.
here, but I wanted to see where the war stories went. We are going to have more coverage
Yes.
coming up on the 208. We have a special segment. We will take a real quick break, though. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 4. We'll be back.
Love you, buddy.